Hello everyone, it is Rob here and welcome back to the channel. This is a very different video than what I normally do, so excuse me if it's a little scuffed. But I kind of wanted to just update you guys on everything that's been going on, first off, and then what my plans are for 2026 going through this year on the channel. As you know, I've been gone for about a month now with pretty much no contact. I've updated y'all some on the community post, but that is because of a lot of things that I'm going to explain. One, also, yes, we're on MS Paint so that I can draw down a list in a second in case I forget anything. One, my house flooded. Some girls above me, no shade to them, but they tried to fry a chicken in like in water or oil, and it overflowed, caught on fire. Sprinklers went off. My apartment building didn't know how to turn off the sprinklers. Proceeded to flood my whole apartment. Luckily, everything in here is furnished by the apartment. I live in like a furnished apartment building. We all have the same beds and stuff. So, and none of my stuff was hurt because it just went off in the kitchen, like my personal stuff. But I was out of an apartment. They put me up on like a temporary one, but then I just went out ahead and went back home for break and didn't deal with all that. That way I just stored all my stuff in the temporary apartment. It was a whole thing. Came back. My apartment was still broken. I didn't have air conditioning or heat or anything. It's middle of winter here in the US. So that was great. And yeah, so essentially I didn't get to pre-record any of the videos I wanted. I recorded one video on Super Meat Boy in my temporary apartment. I didn't get a chance to upload that because I had to hurry up and just go home due to some other stuff, so it wasn't great. Anyways, most of it comes down to though, wasn't able to do anything because my apartment was flooded, and that's like the big thing that y'all need to know about. That was to keep, like update y'all on, and that's why I've been gone and haven't been able to do anything. That's why I haven't made any TikToks, haven't been able to edit because I had no access to my computer. It was locked away in the temporary storage apartment. All my stuff was packed up. So yeah, and then I got moved back in, and I didn't get moved back in until right when classes were starting. So now classes have started. I've went through a week of classes. It is now, let me see, it is now January 19th, and classes started on the 13th, I believe, yeah. And we just had Martin Luther King Day off, obviously, Dream Up. That was corny. That Dream Up is crazy. But no, obviously, go celebrate Martin Luther King Day. This isn't coming out to the 20th, though, so hopefully y'all had a good Martin Luther King Day. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. But anyways, with all of that said, that's pretty much catching you up on what's been going on. All of that was really crappy, really annoying to deal with. And now, moving into what I have planned for this year, we'll move over here to the paint. I wanted to talk about the like 3 big things and then a couple small things. So, number 1, don't mind my drawing. First off, I want to talk about what our upload goal is for the year, and that is, let me write it down, build suspense. Oh no, that is 100 videos for the year. That's the goal. That's the big goal. Now, I know some of you that have been around are going to be like, oh, well, how are you going to do that? Because you've already missed some weeks and you only upload 2 videos a week. So how are you going to hit that? Well, that brings us to goal number 2. And that is that we are, so like occasionally there'll be a 3rd video of the week, and that it's going to be like those big block videos that I really wanted to make that I've talked about and I haven't been able to get a chance to make it. This is one of my New Year's resolutions. We're going to play through full games, and I'm going to get them uploaded on the channel, and that's going to be 3rd videos every now and then, and that'll get us up over our 100 video total, along with the 2 weekly game reviews and game showcases that I really enjoy doing. That I have a big backlog for that too that I'm super excited. The biggest series I wanted to talk about though is we are going to be playing through, if I can draw, oh my, that E is bad. There we go. Resident Evil. That was horrible. That was real bad. But anyways, we're going to be going through Resident Evil, the whole series. I've never played a Resident Evil game except for 7. So we're going to be starting all the way from Resident Evil 1, and then apparently playing Resident Evil 0, then Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on up to 7, then Village. And then in February, the new one of Old Uncle Leon comes out. And we'll be picking that up and playing that too. This is our big series goal. It's going to be 1 game per episode is how I plan on, okay, that circling is horrible, but 1 game per episode, so is how I plan on doing it. It shouldn't be too bad. Those games are like 10 hours long-ish on the long side. So I look really forward to doing that though, because I really like survival horror, and I'm really excited to get into that. And then I have a few other game series, but I don't really want to call those out. And then obviously one-off games that I want to play as well. All right, here we go. This game is another one I have bought. I bought it on sale during the last Steam sale, not even the winter sale. And apparently it's really, really good. It's not too long. And so this is another one I want to play. that I'll be playing through. It's gonna come after the first couple Resident Evil games though, but so don't hold out your hopes for that one too soon. But anyways, with all of that said, that covers what I want to prioritize. We're gonna hit the 100 videos. Third thing I want to talk about is, which is kind of ironic if you clicked on this video, not gonna lie, thumbnails. Thumbnails, yes. If you've seen my thumbnails, you know I have been playing around for a while, whether it means using promotional art from the game or using blank backgrounds with characters from the game, which I think is kind of the direction I want to move in, but more of a background from the game and then the character like superimposed on top of it with like wording. I want to work on my thumbnails. I am making a dedicated 2026 goal, putting it out there in the open. Here's my jar of peanut butter. I just thought I'd mention that because it's blocking my timer so I can see how long I've been going. And if it's still recording or not. But anyways, thumbnails. 2026 goal. Hopefully get better thumbnails. I'm really going to work on it. And I'm hoping, and I really need you guys to kind of let me know in the comments of the videos what you think of the thumbnails so I can see what I'm doing wrong. Because I'm really just throwing stuff at the wall. Because I don't really know what, like, I haven't been doing this long enough to know what performs well. I think the characters, like, brought to the front works really well. And I like the wording behind the characters kind of formatting where, like, the character blocks some of it. Because I noticed that's what I click on. But I haven't been able to do it properly. Every time I do it, I screw it up. So, yeah. I use Canva. If anybody has any tips for using Canva, I would be more than happy to hear that. So yes, thumbnails. Please let me know in videos. And I said it's funny because this video doesn't have a thumbnail, so it's just my face. So, and that's how I wanted to do this one, just because it's kind of a sit down and talk. I'm not really doing this for. I mean, if you're a newcomer, hi, hello. I mean, I'm glad you're here. This is more so for current people and stuff. So I'm not really doing a fancy thumbnail because y'all are gonna click on it anyways. But yes, thumbnails are a big priority here out. I'm not gonna be using any more. I never used AI in my thumbnails anyways, except for in Photoshop. I realized it was using AI. I didn't know that. My bad. In Photoshop, if you go back and look at like the digging out thing, I mean, it makes sense now that I think about it, but you like can just like draw around stuff like this. And then you just like say what you want it to do, right? You're just like, all right, make me into a prisoner or whatever. And that's what I did with that thumbnail. Didn't realize that was like generative AI. I mean, it makes sense. I thought it was just like pulling what should we call it? I thought it was just pulling like a dot image, right? Or like a PNG. That's not how you spell image. I thought it was just pulling that though, and then like imposing it in like I don't know. I've never used Photoshop before I started doing YouTube, so I have no clue how it works. But anyways, thank you, Light. I'm glad you've decided to power on. I appreciate that. Makes me look hella washed out, but that's okay. Anyways, yeah, so none of that. No more of that. I don't use Photoshop anymore anyways, but no more of the AI generative stuff. Now that I know that's what it is. I think there's like 3 thumbnails that have that in it, but they're so old. I'm not going to go bother to go change them, but they are there if you didn't know that. But yeah, no AI, but I do want to. What was I losing? I was talking about thumbnails. Anyways, I just want to focus on getting better at my thumbnails and really diving into Canva and seeing what I can do there. So if you have any advice on Canva, please do let me know. Fourth, I want to talk about short form because I do not enjoy short form content. I purposely do not scroll TikToks whenever I'm during the school week. I do not scroll TikTok except for whenever I'm at home in bed. Everything else is done. I don't scroll TikTok during the day. I try to study or listen to a podcast or something along those lines, or a YouTube video. I usually listen to like, I'm a philosophy minor, so I listen to like philosophy YouTube videos like in the background while I'm studying or something. I try to spend most of my time in the library if I'm not, going to the gym or something. But with that said, I don't know how to make good short form content. I don't partake in short form content really. And so I don't really know how to engage with it. I watch edits at nighttime. I watch edits of like The Amazing Digital Circus. Shout out that show if you haven't seen it. Go watch it. Really, really good. I just caught up like this weekend, so for sure go watch that. But yeah, I don't know what makes good short form content. And I don't enjoy the short form content I've been making. Okay, also hit this while it's hot and on the thing. No short form content for YouTube. We're not doing YouTube shorts. I don't feel like YouTube shorts add anything. properly that I want on the main YouTube channel. I think they're good ways to engage, but I would much rather engage in a long form video with you guys. That way I can have a more thought out discussion and not have to be super cut into like 30 seconds. I don't really enjoy that kind of stuff, especially for conversationals. But what I was going to say is if you look at my TikTok, you've seen that I make edits and you see that I just clip stuff from the YouTube videos and post them on TikTok and call it a day. And that's all I do. The edits are going to be moving to a hobby page that I'm not going to tell you all about because I just like making edits and they're funny. And they're not a main part of my content. The TikTok is going to be moving to which I know I just said I don't like short form for conversationals. And I don't really like TikTok audiences that much, mostly because there's just a lot of kids. Not that I dislike kids, it's not that. And I actually think that from a academic standpoint, I think kids are very interesting, like their views on stuff. But they're just not. It's very much like a hive mind, and you can't have good conversations on TikTok, is what I'm trying to get at. And everybody kind of like bandwagons, and it's a whole thing. It's much worse than long form content consumption, and it's not even the people, because like this, you can have chill people that consume stuff on YouTube, and they would be completely fine. And then you take them to TikTok, and it's like TikTok like murks their brain. Like it's literally the platform poisons its audience. I don't get it. Like it's legitimately wild how it happens, because it turns legitimately normal people just rabid for some reason. But anyways, I am still going to do short form content on TikTok, and that is going to be mainly because I think it'll be spicier and I think it'll draw attention, which is kind of a crappy way to put it given the context. But I have been wanting an outlet to talk about like philosophical ideas. I accidentally popped a pimple. My bad, guys. Hopefully you didn't have to see that in 4K. The thing is, this one on my forehead. Yeah, that's the other thing. I got hella stressed out over freaking moving, and so now I have hella acne. But whatever, that's fine. But yeah, I want to talk about like philosophical ideas and stuff that I'm going over in class that I think is interesting. And obviously I talk with my classmates and my friends about it because they're like interested in the same topic, because obviously we're all the same major, we're all history or philosophy majors. But I kind of like to hear from people that aren't in those spaces occasionally, because I think those are the kind of people that offer the most unique perspectives. Like I think obviously we get cool perspectives in class, and I'm at a very diverse college, which I'm very thankful for. At least in my field, we're not super diverse overall, unfortunately, but in my area we have a lot of diversity, and I think that's because we get a lot of international students coming in and stuff to study, because they like teach their histories and to study and like learn English and all that stuff, and learn American history. Anyways, the point I was trying to make is I'm very interested in non-academic opinions as well, and non-academic thoughts on academic opinions. So I will try on TikTok to offer academic opinions, but also obviously I am human, so I don't have my own bias kind of cooked into it, and my own opinion, obviously. But that's what my short form content is going to look like now. I don't know if I'm going to ever make long form content of that kind of approach. I might. Maybe we'll do like a live stream or something every now and then to talk about it. Or maybe that could be down the line at second channel. But really, I have like a big journal of philosophical like ideas and questions and stuff that I just like think about consistently. And so I think it'd be interesting to just have an outlet to discuss those with people. I'm not really looking at that as something I'm trying to like build a community around. It's just something I'm interested in and I want to put out there, if that makes sense. Whereas this is something I definitely want like a shared experience. Which, I mean, I want to share experience with that too. It's just not, I mean, I guess let's just say it bluntly. I'm not one to gaslight y'all or lie y'all. It's not something I see like people caring about enough to have a future in or anything like that, you know, just because I don't think there's the market for that here lately. But anyways, I think that covers everything. Don't mind all of these bad drawings. But also, I don't know, I've never used paint before, so literally all I did to do this was I just cranked this up and then just colored over it like this to make it all black so I could draw on it. I don't know if that's the move, but it's what I did and it worked, kinda. Anyways, with all that said, I hope this kind of caught y'all up on everything. I hope that you now understand where the channel sits, some of our plans. If you have any games that you want me to check out, recommend those too. I will be playing smaller like games too between the Resident Evil games. That way I'm not just pounding you with Resident Evil. But I'll be playing like some smaller like 3 to 4 hour games. So if you have anything in that kind of time slot. But with all that said, I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope this kind of lets you catch up with me. If you can think of any more suggestions for the channel that you would like to see in this coming year, this is the year of growth. I just punched the mic. I apologize. This is the year of growth. Trying new stuff. So yeah, just kind of let me know if any ideas y'all have. But with all that said, I hope that you have a great day today, a great day tomorrow, and I'll see all of you in the next video.